Hello, I'm Alina, a member of the League of Women Voters of Kitsap. The League of Women Voters does not support or oppose candidates and works to provide information about the candidates and issues before the voters. We are interviewing the Central Kitsap School Board candidates that will appear on your November ballot, which you should receive in the mail around mid-October. We'll be asking them 5 questions, and the candidates will each have 90 seconds to answer each question. Let's get to know Robin Martin. Robin, you'll have 90 seconds to introduce yourself, tell us why you chose to run for the school board.
Thank you, Alina. My name is Robin Martin, as you said. My family and I have been Kitsap County residents for almost 15 years. My son graduated from Olympic High School in 2016 with honors, and he was the swim team captain in his senior year. I now have 3 grandchildren and became interested in serving on the CKSD school board because I see some areas of improvement, and I believe that I can help. I have spent a career in healthcare, in critical care, education, and management roles, and I have 3 platform positions that I'm running on: fiscal responsibility, transparency, and accountability, improvement of proficiency scores in English, math, science, and parental involvement and transparency in school-related programs and state-mandated directives. And you can see all these on my website at www.electrobinmartin.org.
All right, thank you so much. Let's get into our first question. The role of a public school district board of directors is to govern by setting policies and making decisions that shape the education of students. What are some of the key responsibilities of a school director to support successful governance of a public school system?
I have 4 different things. Set the district's vision, goals, and policies for improving student proficiencies. Currently, the vision and goals for our district are being met for some, but I feel not all students. We need to take another look at those proficiency scores and attendance for our schools, as well as policies to ensure that they provide a pathway to improving our English, math, and science proficiencies. For example, one of our high schools has a science proficiency of 49%. This is unacceptable. None of our math proficiencies are above 65%. Also, we want to create and monitor the budget. Every year, the budget must be reevaluated, and currently the board touts a balanced budget with a per student cost of almost $20,000. There is a regular request for levies and a regular increase in property taxes while scores continue to drop. My experience with hospital and departmental budgets has taught me that there must be a metric to hold every dollar accountable. You also want to serve as the community representative for accountability and trust. And the parents in the community have a right to transparency in the programs and personnel involved in their kids' education in the district. As a community leader in Better Breathers, which was an American Lung Association program, I was involved in community outreach and engagement, including Keyport Naval Base and area retirement communities. And we also need to oversee and work with the district superintendent.
All right, thank you so much. We're going to narrow in a little bit, but we'll circle back to those ideas of metrics at the end. So our question 2 is, what would you do to address the chronic understaffing of special ed classrooms in the district?
Now, this question is really at the heart of things. So, special education is a highly specialized field. It requires specialized and educated and skilled individuals with a particular uh, place in their heart for educating kids who have learning challenges and things that I encountered in healthcare, but really is not my specialty. So, like I said, this requires a specialized individual. So quite simply, we should prioritize doing what is required for hiring these individuals, which could necessarily include higher pay for them, as well as the possibility of a mentorship program to encourage a more robust program and turn it into a magnet. This may necessitate diverting funds from programs that are unnecessary for student growth.
All right, thank you very much. We'll move on to question 3, which is about the budget you've mentioned a few times already. A district's annual budget shows the board's commitment towards fulfilling the goals of the instructional program and provides for the efficient and effective operation of the district. Regarding the district's budget process, what strategies do you suggest to address any deficits faced in the future, especially related to declines in student enrollment or loss of federal funding?
So my position on this is that future budget deficits are a reflection of current failings. There are always unknown factors that we can't account for, but let's focus on what we can have some influence on. Working in respiratory therapy, again, our budgeting focused on what we could do to reduce waste and find possible revenue loss. To do that, we offered a bonus program to reward innovation from our team. And this resulted, in one case, in the recovery of millions of dollars in lost charges for oxygen alone. Now, translating this to the schools arena, this could include the cost of supplies, changes in vendors, waste reduction, any number of things. And prioritization of budget items will enable the board to be agile enough to cut less necessary items if and when needed. Some of the more luxurious items that we don't necessarily have to have. Students are basically the priority. So first we need to look at why there are declines in student enrollment. And again, looking at attendance records for CK schools, we can understand why the proficiencies are so low. If they don't attend, they don't learn. And
Mm.
dropout rates increase. CK schools are increasingly losing students to homeschooling and private academies. And why is that? So obviously they are offering something students are not receiving in public schools, and we will lose federal money if we lose students. So improving the student experience and education in our public schools will draw both students and funding, in addition to what my understanding is they are also beginning to seek increased state funding.
All right, thank you. So moving on, question 4, it's another tactical question. The National Education Association has stated support for school libraries, and at the same time, in recent years, many books have become controversial. How do school boards navigate the concerns of parents, teachers, librarians, and students regarding sensitive content?
So, and this one is a hot button issue.
Hmm.
And out of these four, the parents, teachers, librarians, and students, only the parents and the students should be involved in what content is appropriate for them, and the discussion should be between them alone. So the recent development of introducing sexualized and what some parents consider pornographic content into public school libraries has created an environment of hostility and stress to students who are already dealing with so much without adding another controversy. Our focus should be on improving academic proficiencies, fostering a partnership between parents and students, and preparing students for their future aspirations. When parents have a concern about content in public school libraries, they should be able to bring their concerns to the school board with confidence, and it is our job to encourage that. Teachers and librarians should feel equally heard when raising concerns about this content. If parents feel this type of content is necessary for their children's growth or development, it is publicly available to them. The school isn't necessarily responsible for that.
All right, thank you. So we just have one final question. We're going to circle back to metrics, which you talked about earlier. Against what metrics will you assess district leadership's attainment of key goals, and how will you know when a program or decision has been successful?
So the first and most important metric is student achievement through test scores, attendance, and graduation rates. And we want to take a careful look at that. The proficiency scores is an end result, but we want to get real-time response. And what we want to do is encourage parents to report back. We want to encourage their involvement. Also, recruitment and retention and satisfaction of educators is a huge metric that we can measure to see if they feel like they're being heard, if they feel like they're being effective, if they feel like their professional engagement is being appreciated. Other staff, additionally, office staff, principals, custodial staff, even, all of these things figure in. And I'm not sure if Press Ganey is used in the school system, but this was very effective in the healthcare environment. And so sending out something like that would be very effective, I think. Also, community feedback at school board meetings is extremely beneficial in learning whether we're being effective or not, because these are a major group of our stakeholders. The community has a huge stake in how students turn out. These are the future leaders and future citizens of our county.
Hmm. Hmm. All right, thank you. So thank you, Robin, for sharing your views with us today, and thank you for running for office. I'm Alina on behalf of the League of Women Voters of Kitsap. Thanks for watching, and please share this video. If you want to help the League do this work, consider joining at lwv.org. And don't forget to return your ballots no later than 8 p.m. on Tuesday, November 4th.